As I'm sure you all know, the Toolbox was founded in the world of sport. And today we are here at the UCI Road Cycling Championships 2024 in Zurich to find out how they are implementing sustainability initiatives and driving sustainability strategy forward. Welcome to Toolbox Talks.
At the end of the day, a city is kind of left with whatever you bring at the end of the event. So I think it's really important to make sure you're telling everybody that you're doing the best you can.
Okay, so we are joined by Raphael Crettol. He is the Sustainability Manager for Swiss Cycling and has been pivotal in developing their sustainability strategy. Swiss Cycling were one of the early adopters of the Toolbox, having been members since about 2021?
I think
right?
to 2021, yeah, exactly.
Welcome to the Toolbox Talks podcast.
Thanks a lot for inviting me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I guess as you are one of our sort of first users, there's quite a lot that we have been speaking about over the past few years and things like that. But I guess maybe we can start off by, why is sustainability important to Swiss cycling, and what exactly was it that sort of drew you to using the Toolbox and getting started?
Yeah, actually, sustainability is really something which is moving me also personally, which is driving me. I think it fits perfectly to sport, because actually sustainability, when we talk about sustainability, we talk about values, about core values, which you can find actually in sport as well. And I think especially in cycling, we talk about really experience sport activities outside. So we need pure air, we need fresh air, we are into nature. We share this activity also with other people. So that makes sense. There's really a good fit, I think, between sustainability and Swiss and cycling. And so as part of my job, I think it made absolutely sense to engage this way. And when you start, I think in sustainability, it's always the same. You have thousands of resources online. You have thousands of explanations who tell you how you should do it. It's difficult sometimes to find the right way to engage. And that's at that moment, I think I exchanged with you. We're talking, exchanging some ideas, and then you told me about the sustainability toolbox. And actually, I found there really what I was really looking for. It means like really a template which can guide every kind of, federation, every kind of sports association into implementing a proper strategy. And then, from there, we went step by step.
We were just talking a little bit before starting this podcast about, firstly, how does communications help, but then also how do you position yourself as a sustainability professional, and what did you need to do to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's an advantage, but it can also be seen as a disadvantage, because first I will start maybe with the disadvantage part. We see in many industry, we see people from the communication shifting to sustainability, and that's where we have always sometimes an alarm, which is in our head. Oh, is it really serious? And I think I needed also to fight against it, just to show, no, it's just not someone for the communication who will communicate on some green activities that we do. It's really something that I want to point out. That's why also I at the same time, in parallel, I also started training in sustainability. But in the other hand, I think it definitely helps to study communication, to come from that part, because most of the time sustainability is so complex. There are so many different points of views, so many aspects, that it's difficult to communicate it properly. And we notice most of the time all the initiatives that I hear about in the sports world or in the culture world. That's great, but sometimes it's difficult to communicate it. And I think in that regard, coming from the communication, that's something that definitely helps.
So communication really is kind of the crux of it, really. I wonder, how did you guys go about involving the stakeholders in your decision making? How did you communicate with them throughout your sustainability processes, and what did that process look like?
Yeah, of course, there's no sustainability without engaging stakeholders. That's also something that I learned also through the sustainability toolbox. Now I think that's really important. If you want to implement a proper strategy with proper measures with real effect, I think you need to take your stakeholders with you. That's one of the basic rules, I think, of sustainability, because if you try to impose them, to force them, you won't get any good results. You will have maybe a short-term results, but in the end, the people who need to implement it, they will implement it because they have been told to, but not because they believe in it and because they understand it. And I think that's why the communication is so important. In our team, we work on we have different kind of channels, let's say, to communicate with our different stakeholders. We have, for example, internally with the employees, we used a workshop to communicate what we wanted to do. We made little workshops. We made, I think, 7 different workshops per department, per field. We made also one workshop with the trainers, just with them to see really the specific topic in their department, so we could really target their needs. And maybe after we have, for example, with partners, we engage more with goals on a regular basis. Maybe once a month, once every 2 months. And after with other stakeholders, we decided to use more kind of survey to get their intention, their sensibility towards sustainability. For example, that's what we did just for that event with the event organizers. We just sent a survey to get to try to apprehend how they feel about sustainability, how ready they are to engage in it, what are the barriers that prevent them from going into sustainability. And that's something I think we need to find the right channel for every stakeholders. And when we have it, we just really try to be regular on that communication.
What I would like to ask is, I guess, what is on everyone's mind. What kind of things did you come up with after engaging with these stakeholders? How did you align objectives, and what initiatives did you end up implementing as part of your wider sustainability strategy?
Yeah, that's something that we are still on course. Actually, we started really engaging a bit more than 2 or 3 years ago, and now in that first phase, we really tried to analyze. So it's a bit too early for us really to say what we could do. What we can say is for sure that we need to make our own initiatives align with our partners, our stakeholders' initiatives. And that's really also one of the challenge. On one side, it's really challenging because most of the time we're not aligned. We don't have the same objectives. Maybe one partner would focus on biodiversity. We would more focus on mobility sometimes. But on another side, it's really interesting because it makes emerge, it brings out really new ideas, it brings out a new energy, and that's always really, always really powerful what comes out of those collaborations.
Yeah, for sure. So that all sounds amazing. I guess your report is out now, right? And where is it that people could sort of go to find this out?
Yeah,
find out more information about your sustainability initiatives and objectives.
We did our first report for last year, 2023. You can find the report is free on our website. We did a first. That was our first report. We noticed that we have several initiatives in different fields. Now what we want to do for the next reports actually is just to have a bit more structure. So that's why as soon as we have our comprehensive strategy, let's say, we will align our targets and our objectives towards that sustainability strategy, and that will help us also to deliver a better structured report. Because actually, the report is what everyone can see. Yeah. That's the final result, and it helps to structure.
Yeah, and it helps to bring the stakeholders on again as well, and really sort of communicate those objectives again. So
exactly.
We'll put the link to that report in the description for you below. Is there any sort of top tips or advice you would give, having been on the journey yourself?
It might sound really overwhelming because the thematic is so broad. You have the social part, you have the environmental part, you have the management part. You need to put this all in one box, and that's what makes it complicated at the first start. But I think what I could advise is you can just take on a paper, you write it down, everything, and then you try just to organize, to move the things, and you will see that it belongs together. And when you have identified, let's say, those big box, then you can start really trying with working with let's say a template, which will help you to put a structure to your strategy, because you will see that all those initiatives are actually relative, that are all together linked in some way, and that's where at some point that you need a template, which, for example, what can offer is the sustainability toolbox to give you a structure to build your strategy. But just make an analysis of your own industry, of your own company, and then it will follow by its way.
So thanks for joining us on the podcast today. I hope you've had a good time. Today we're going to do something a little bit different with all the guests that are on the podcast. We are going to put them on the bike, and we're going to see how many sustainability questions you can answer while riding the bike. Does that sound like something you are up for?
Fantastic. I have my Swiss cycling shirt.
Oh, fantastic. Let's go.
Let's go.
So this is the part of the show where we get our guest on a bike and ask them as many sustainability questions as we can. We're ready to go. So they're multiple choice answers, 1 minute on the clock, and your time starts now. What material is most commonly recycled to create bike components? Is it plastic, aluminium, or steel?
Aluminium.
Correct. Which country introduced the bicycle plan in 2010 to encourage cycling for environmental benefits? Is it Japan, Germany, or France?
Japan?
No, it's France. What percentage of bike trips in the United States are made for commuting purposes? Is it 10%, 15%, or 20%?
15%.
It's actually only 10%. True or false? Electric bikes emit more CO2 in production than regular bikes.
No.
It is true. They do emit more CO2 in production. What city in the world has the longest dedicated bicycle path? Is it Copenhagen, Amsterdam, or Montreal?
I'll go with Copenhagen.
It's Montreal, I'm afraid. What percentage of global bicycle market is... Oh, that's time. Raphael, I believe you got just the first one right. Just one right, unfortunately. You know, what was really fantastic about speaking with Rafa is that he's been with the Toolbox, along with Swiss Cycling, for the past two and a half years. And it's really interesting seeing the journey that they've been on and how they are supporting the organisations that Swiss Cycling support, but how they're also working with organisations who support them, like UCI. So now we're going to find out a little bit more about the event that we're at today, the UCI Road Cycling World Championships. And we're going to hear from Fabienne, who is a sustainability manager at UCI.
Yeah, so like you said, it's a really wide topic. Also, sustainability includes the environment, the society, the economy, and the management. And it's easy to get lost.
The Toolbox, a community for the transition to sustainability.